on Ian vs. Daddybones, it wouldn't be a road to WrestleMania without a roadblock.
Fuck Ian Daddybones. Fuck Twin Widow, whatever the hell it is. No one gives a shit about you, Ian. Everyone hates you. Fuck off.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Having a banger and you're all invited. Share with friends and I'll see you later. Bring everyone, invite my haters. Throw your hands in the fucking air. Let's push a cripple down a flight of stairs. Got new shit right for your ears. My Hadouken is downright fierce. Rock out with my cock out. Jump around, I got your shout outs. I'm Daddybones, no need to panic. Talking riddles like a schizophrenic.
Welcome back! It's another exciting episode of Ian vs. Daddybones. I am Ian Daddybones. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. I want to say what's up to everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube right now. I want to give a special high five and a nut dap to all my Patreon subscribers, throwing me $3 a month to get access to bonus content, the Original Geeks podcast, and you get your name in the credits as my way of saying thank you for supporting the brand. And like I said, going into this episode, we are continuing down our road to WrestleMania here on Ian vs. Daddybones, but like most roads to WrestleMania, it wouldn't be WrestleMania season without that unfortunate roadblock halfway down the track. And today, we are not going to be continuing with our WWE Elite figures. I am not opening Rhythm and Blues, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and the Honky Tonk Man this episode. I am not opening Brutus Beefcake for the Patreon subscribers. I am going to be doing that next week, because today on the show, I am going to be opening two brand new Masters of the Universe Masterverse new Eternia figures that showed up in one of my recent boxes of Ian, and I'm going to be opening up new Eternia Mekaneck and new Eternia Triklops. Also, for Patreon subscribers, not this week, not next week, but starting in March, it's going to be available. I am going to be opening up and unboxing the recently received in the mail, recently dropped Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, new Eternia, Snout Spout. Now, like I said, it wouldn't be WrestleMania season without that unfortunate roadblock. And the reason there's a roadblock in my WrestleMania season this year is because I was not able to record an episode of the show last week. Unfortunately, now at this point it's 2.5 weeks ago, but 2.5 weeks ago, my entire household got sick. My wife, my kids, I did my best to avoid everybody, but eventually I got sick. We all tested negative for the Rona, so it was all just flu-like symptoms, and we're all feeling better and been feeling better. However, I got word last week from my mother-in-law that unfortunately they did test positive for the coronavirus. So I've had to let my in-laws have a week to quarantine, recuperate, get better, and I'm here today picking up where I left off 2 weeks ago, filming Ian vs. Daddybones. So originally I was planning on doing Rhythm and Blues, Greg the Hammer Valentine. I was planning on doing Brutus Beefcake for the Patreon subscribers. And with having a week off, because I wasn't productive filming content, I've been putting my AI bots to work, and I fed them episode 2 of Ian vs. Daddybones, and I had them poop out like 20 little clips from episode 2 from last year that I've been feeding all my social media feeds as reels and whatnot. So there's been all sorts of content dropping, but in the background, Daddy's been buying some toys. And in the background, I've been setting myself up for future stuff to be opened and discussed on Ian vs. Daddybones. For starters, my day started off on Tuesday, where I successfully got 2 Snout Spout figures. And after I ordered Snout Spout, because I had a busy week planned. Now, mind you, actually, I got to rewind, because I got Snout Spout on Tuesday. I got to take it back to Monday. Monday, I happen to be looking at Mattel Creations, seeing if they happen to update the store at all, if anything that was previously sold out is now back in stock, or if there's new items available. Because rolling into this week, it was a busy week. Because there was drops over the course of the week. Masters of the Universe had a Mattel Creations drop on Tuesday, and I'm going to get to the WWE drops on Thursday that I was able to successfully participate in. However, rewinding it back to Monday, looking over Mattel Creations, I decided to jump under the Mega Block tab. The Mega tab. So I'm looking at everything that they have available currently for sale for Mega. And while looking through everything, I happened to notice that the Barbie movie Mega Dream House that's been sold out since the movie hit theaters was magically back in stock. Now, I have experience shopping through Mattel Creations, paying in full for my purchases. I also have experience shopping through Mattel Creations using ShopPay for the purpose of financing my purchases through small payment loans every other week. And over the course of the past year and a half, because it started, my first experience with Shop started when I was down to the wire and it was make or break whether or not I was going to be able to jump on Eternia. And I was able to crowdfund Eternia by financing it through Shop. Over the course of 2023, I was making monthly payments on that shit. So while I was paying off Eternia, I also did other small shop loans that I have since paid off responsibly and on time, while, you know, getting the toys I want while improving my credit at the same time. Being responsible is fucking fun. But what I did was, I've been learning how Shop works when it comes to its loans, what you can only get in 4 payments, what you're able to split into 12 payments. So I knew later in the week there was something I was going to be going for, and I was going to be relying on a Shop payment loan to finance this over the next year. But I needed to fantasy shop to see if it would work. So what I did was, I looked at the $150 Mega Barbie movie Dream House. It was $150 back in stock. I added it to my cart. I went to put in my information, and then when it got to the credit card information, it says, do you want to pay the full amount today? Do you want to pay in 4 amounts with Shop? So I clicked pay 4 amounts in Shop. Then when it took me to the next screen and Shop approved me of being able to pay for this in a small purchase loan and split it into payments, it lets you choose how you want to do it. So what I found out was, for the $150 Barbie house, I was able to finance this over a year with 0 money down to get this bitch out in the mail and delivered to my house before my first payments even due. So this shit was ordered on Monday, showed up on Wednesday. I haven't even made my first payment on it yet. But it's due next month, so I'm good to go. And the way I was thinking about it, once I got this set up, I was continuing looking around Mattel Creations and looking at the WWE stuff. I'm like, noticing something else that was sold out that's back in stock, and that was the WWE Elite Raw is War Attitude Era ring with Kane, with the Ultimate Edition WWE Kane figure, $140. So I knew right then and there, it just worked on the Barbie house, I should be able to get this Attitude Era ring out in the mail. Sure enough, fucking success. Got the Raw is War Attitude Era ring on its way. Thursday. Well, now we're rolling into Tuesday. We already touched base and established the fact that I was successful and got 2 snout spouts. Rolling into Thursday. The WWE drops was WWE Coliseum Collection Series 4. The Hart Foundation officially dropped, successfully grabbed. The next big item that I was going for, the WCW Monday Nitro ring with the Eric Bischoff Ultimate Edition figure. Same $140 price as the Attitude Era ring. Boom. got that shit set up. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about the Monday Nitro ring shipping until May, so I still got time for that. However, when it comes to the Heart Foundation, the Coliseum Collection Series 4, the Snout Spouts, they're going to be taken care of the quickness. The 2 rings and the Barbie house, I'm going to be financing over the next year through the small payments, but the reality is, it's going to get paid off quicker. I just did the 12 months just to secure that shit before it sold back out, got it out in the mail, and I'm going to be opening it up on future episodes of Ian vs. Daddybones because I have plans for the Mega Block stuff. I have the Mega Eternia I need to start on. I have the Mega Castle Grayskull to do. So when it comes to my builds and those videos, I am currently thinking, planning how I want to go about doing that. But the Mega Block builds are definitely on deck with Ian vs. Daddybones. I'm looking forward to that. So like I said, it's been a really big week. Even though I haven't been able to film and produce any content, I've been knocking out reels, revisiting old episodes, taking advantage of everything that's currently working right for Ian vs. Daddybones. And that's the thing, like, by putting everything on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, I've gotten more love for episode 2 in the past 3 days than I did the full-length episode that's currently available for free on YouTube. Algorithms are fucking weird. Social media is fucking weird. All I know is if you're watching this right now, do me a solid to let me know you're there and just smash that fucking share button right now. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Shout outs real quick to the homies over at Gold Ribbon Media. They got a bunch of stuff going on right now, especially Movie Mike. Dude's been mad busy. Dude's been hanging out a lot and working a lot lately with Tone Chop and Mindframe. And they've been working on music, they've been filming some content. And speaking of Mindframe, I want to let all you guys know right now, over on Patreon, check out the Both Sides podcast. It's hosted by Mindframe and Effluent. It's your #1 source when it comes to all things 607 music scene, 607 hip hop, and they got all sorts of stuff over on their Patreon you can check out. They're just getting started, and Mindframe's been tearing it up. Like I said, Movie Mike, Gold Ribbon Media, Red, Effluent, Tone Chop, they've all been fucking grinding hard, putting out music, and it's absolutely amazing. You know, it's weird. Like 607 music scene has like times where it's popping, then it has times where it's like, I don't want necessarily lulls, but it's like sometimes people take breaks, but then when people come back hard and start grinding and busting out tracks and shit, you're seeing it all the time. And right now when it comes to 607, when it comes to Binghamton hip hop, like there's so much shit going on. And also too, special shout outs to Heavy Set, Run and Gun Films for showing love and support over the past year with Ian vs. Daddybones. So yeah, definitely go check out Both Sides Podcast, hosted by Mindframe and Effluent. Their Patreon is only $5 a month. I subscribe, so with that said, special shout out to all my Patreon subscribers. Because of you guys showing love to me, you're helping me show love to other people I support, like Gibby Stites, Horrible Home Video, the Stardom Cast, and now the Both Sides Podcast. So take a chance, go check out their Patreons, because they're busting their ass putting out their dope content just as hard as I'm working busting out my dope content. But like I said, man, this past week, not doing the episode, not having new content available. I've been stocking up on some stuff in the background to talk about in the future. Like I said, this Mega Block Barbie movie Dreamhouse. And I know I got some people watching this right now fucking clowning and laughing at me like, hey, this guy's gonna put together a Barbie movie Dreamhouse. You fucking damn right I'm gonna build this Barbie Dreamhouse. I got 3 daughters, and that's the reason why I bought this Barbie Dreamhouse, because at some point over the course of the past 23 years, Barbie definitely had some role at some point in my life when it came to entertaining my daughters over the course of their lives. So I'm going to be thinking and talking about all those dope-ass memories, being a dad, having 3 beautiful daughters, as I put together this Barbie Dreamhouse at some point over the summer. I mean, you gotta build the Barbie Dream House over the summer, because I mean, it's got a fucking pool. You know what I mean? You gotta build the fucking pool, and this, you know, it's fucking crazy to me now looking at this box with like all the Barbie Dream House and all the features and whatnot, because we literally, let's set this down real quick. We literally just bought this the Barbie movie the other night. Like, my wife and I watched it like 2 nights ago when we grabbed it, because it's one of those things where the Oscars was last week, and because it's been Oscars week, pretty much all the Oscar movies are currently on sale digitally. So for $10, I was able to grab the Barbie movie for my wife and my 13-year-old to enjoy. And my daughter Natty and I really enjoyed watching the Barbie movie the other day. We got to sit there together and enjoy the film, which is saying a lot, considering my daughter Natalia and I, for some reason, we've been butting heads a lot lately. Basically, she's 13 years old, hormonal and fucking crazy. I'm a 44-year-old dad that I already had one rodeo with a mouthy 13-year-old 10 years ago when you were 3, and I believe you were standing right there when I was telling you I ain't putting up with this shit from you, yet fucking here we are 10 years later, and I'm putting up with the same shit from you. But my daughter and I were able to enjoy Barbie, at least, so that was like an hour and a half we were able to enjoy each other's company. But all jokes aside, I love my Natty very much, and she's definitely going through an interesting time in life. And to all my dads out there, y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's one thing when they're, you know, between the ages of 3 and 10, when they want to fucking, you know, put makeup on you and do your nails and make you look pretty, and they want to comb your hair, brush your hair, and style your hair and shit. And I just gotta say, you're a fucking asshole dad if you don't let your daughter put makeup on you. Get the fuck over it, tough guy, and let her put your fucking eyeshadow on. But yeah, my daughter Natty and I, we have our good days and we have our bad days where we're butting heads, so every day's an adventure. So right now we got the Barbie movie, we got the Barbie Dream House that we're going to experience together, so that's going to be pretty fucking dope. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Mega Castle Grayskull. I'm looking forward to putting together the Mega Eternia. And that's the thing. It's going to start with the Mega Eternia, but right now when it comes to Ian versus Daddybones, I'm basically, everything that I've been grabbing this year, I'm trying to get through by the end of April and May, so rolling into June. My goal for June is to start off with the Eternia Mega Block, but before I get started on these 2 figures, I do want to say one more thing. I was productive and was able to grab some stuff this week. However, next week, March 21st, March 22nd, Mattel Creations, Mattel is having this big revealed event where they're basically, it's New York Toy Fair season, and Mattel is going to be revealing everything that's going to be coming out across the board for like its entire like family of brands. You know, everything that's going to be on deck for Barbie, Monster High, WWE, Mega, you know, Masters of the Universe, Jurassic Park. You know, there's going to be so much stuff that Mattel's going to be on deck. Hot Wheels. There's so much stuff that Mattel's going to fucking talk about and unveil next week during this presentation. So for all of us that are into collected Masters of the Universe, we're like really waiting to hear what's going to be coming out, because normally by this time of the year we're already finding this shit out in February, but for some reason everything got delayed and thrown off by a month. So next week we're going to have the big reveal, and what I'm looking forward to is Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Wave 13. These two figures are in 12. 13 hasn't been unveiled yet, let alone available for pre-order. So that should be ready to hit. When it comes to the future of Turtles of Grayskull and the cartoon collection, we're going to get information on that, as well as upcoming Origins releases through Mattel Creations, because Cyclone, the blue and yellow guy that fucking has the tornado powers, he's the next to come out. Next week, he drops. And Extendar is also on deck. So there's two Masters of the Universe Origins Mattel Creations figures to get excited about. But most important, and I am currently stacking this month's Patreon for this very reason. The Masters of the Universe Origins Snake Lair crowdfund is going to begin very soon. I want to say we're going to get the announcement next week, because once they make the announcement about that crowdfund, it's going to be like 30 days for them to raise that money. So I'm going to use the Patreon that I'm currently saving, and y'all are going to help me put my first down payment to secure and get started on this new crowdfund. So real quick, thank you in advance to my Patreon subscribers for helping me get a jump start on the Snake Lair, which is something else I'm going to finance over the year. So it's going to be fucking fresh. I'm getting really excited. And the best part is, for the past year, no, fuck that. For over the past year, I've been doing Ian versus Daddybones. But for the past 3 years, I've been having my real life toy adventures. And the reason I've been able to finance the majority of this is because when my daughter Julia turned 20 years old and got her first apartment and was officially on her own living, I no longer had to pay weekly child support. So they stopped taking the weekly child support from me for the purpose of paying support. However, I was still ticking away at the final $700 for my daughter's birth expenses from back in the day. So the way New York State child support worked was, they would take the full amount out of my paycheck, send me the checks. I would mail the child support check. They would keep the $5, and then they would mail me the difference back. So once I got the difference back and I got my child support check in the mail, I'd deposit that shit in my checking account. And that's how I've been financing my toys for the majority of the 3 years, just playing with this child support fuck money that's been getting refunded to me for the past 3 years. But I can officially say, I just got my letter in the mail from New York State Child Support Collections Unit telling me that my obligation has officially been fulfilled. My child support court order has officially been dissolved, satisfied, no more child support, which means no more child support checks. But that just means I get more money in my paycheck every week, and now I don't have to worry about waiting for a child support check to get in the mail. I don't have to worry about depositing that child support check. I don't have to worry about that shit clearing. And for the first time since I was 21 years old, I don't ever have to worry about having my fucking driver's license suspended or my assets season frozen, because God forbid I lost my job and I'm gonna be on my ass for a couple of weeks before I can start paying my support regularly. But nah, y'all as New York State child support says, fuck you, Daddybones. You can't pay your child support. Well, guess what? We're gonna suspend your driver's license so you can't drive to work to your new job. You have a checking account? Guess what, asshole? We're gonna put a freeze on that so you can't cash your new paychecks. That's what they do when you slip and fall on your ass, because God forbid this job didn't work out and you got a new one. But at the end of the day, I paid every fucking dime and raised my kid, handled my responsibilities. So for everybody back in 2001 who was like, well, Ian, how do you plan on raising her? How do you plan on taking care of her? How do you plan on supporting her? Easy. By waking up every day and just fucking do it. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Like I said, today on the show, we're going to be opening up Masters of the Universe, Masterverse, Triklops, and Mekaneck from Masterverse Wave 12. And this is the wave that includes Battle Armor He-Man, King Keldor, Triklops, and Mekaneck. These guys, I believe I got at the beginning of February, around that time. Right, I believe it was the same week that Eternia showed up. I wound up getting these guys in the mail. These guys were pre-ordered last year, so I was waiting for them to roll in. And I gotta say, the more Masterverse keeps growing, the more awesome it gets. And I see this across the board with like Facebook groups and other collectors that also get these figures, that in the beginning, when they just first put out Masterverse and it was Revelation figures, that's all people thought it was. Like, this was the line of figures based on the new Netflix show. But once they started introducing the other sub-brands, then it basically kind of became clear to other collectors that, oh, okay, so Masterverse is basically classics at retail. And Masters of the Universe Classics is its own thing. Feel free to Google that and jump down that rabbit hole. But basically, Classics was only available to purchase online, and it was basically Mattel Creations. Before it was Mattel Creations, when it was MattyCollector.com, and it's its own thing. And the Classics line is very dope. But for me as a He-Man fan, I was not in a position to even participate with collecting Classics at the time. I had other shit going on in my life. I mean, I got other shit going on in my life right now, and I really shouldn't be buying these, but, you know, fucking YOLO. But once they introduced the new Eternia sub-brand, it started becoming really interesting because we're getting these, like, updated, reimagined, but not too far reimagined versions of our classic characters based on unused concepts and, design elements that were basically removed, abandoned, left on the cutting room floor. But some of those ideas they go back and revisit with these figures. So over the course, if you've been watching the show since the beginning, I've opened my fair share of Masterverse figures. So if you're familiar with New Eternia, you're very familiar with New Eternia. But let's start off with Mekaneck. Mekaneck says, Mekaneck, heroic human periscope. Captain of King Randor's submarine squadron, Mekaneck searches for the broken pieces of Grayskull in the darkest depths of the ocean, hoping to restore New Eternia to its former glory. Now, it is kind of weird because it does show Mekaneck underwater, but at the same time, he's not wearing like a breathing apparatus or whatnot. His nose and his mouth are perfectly exposed underwater. And, the whole thing with him having the telescope neck, Mekaneck's purpose, he was always like fucking reconnaissance. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what's going on over there? I don't know. Mekaneck, why don't you take a peek and see what you could find out? So then he'd make his, he'd make his neck have a boner and get really long, and friggin' he'd look around corners and shit. and be like, we're all good, boss, or Skeletor and his minions are right around the corner, and that type of shit. But it's one of those type of things where when you look at Mekaneck, he's actually like one of the lamest fucking Masters of the Universe heroes. Like, he's serious, like, people keep busting Clint Barton's balls and saying he's like, you know, the lamest Avenger. And to a degree, I agree. But I can honestly basically say that, you know, for all the shit, for all the shit they give Hawkeye, Mekaneck totally fucking deserves it. He really is like the lamest fucking Masters of the Universe character. I mean, that's why I nicknamed him for the purpose of sharing memes and supporting the brand and promoting the show. You know, y'all seen the picture. What up, Dick Neck? And that's basically what he is. He's fucking Dick Neck. But I do gotta say, you know, he does come in this brand new, redesigned Masterverse box with the brighter all-around art instead of being boring and black. And, you know, shout-outs and apologies to Roy Juarez and all of his team going into making these boxes. I gotta admit, last year when they first started showing the boxes, I was really kind of like angry and disappointed in it, because it's like, what, we're this many, we're like 11 waves deep into this toy line, and now y'all decide to change the box. And at first I really wasn't feeling it, but honestly, after I got like wave 11 and 12, yeah, 11 and 12 with these new redesigned boxes, I do gotta say they really look really slick, and they look a hell of a lot better than the original boxes. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking by even complaining in the first place. But I'm going to go ahead and get Mekaneck's plastic bindings snipped and cut. Now, I have Mekaneck in the Origins line. He came packaged with the Road Ripper, or the Ground Ripper. I believe in the 80s it was called the Ground Ripper, but they decided to call it the Road Ripper in Origins. I think it's because somebody else had that had Ground Ripper trademarked and Mattel wasn't able to use it. So and that happened before, like when the Star Wars prequel trilogies were in theaters. They had to call Fisto Battle Fist because Fisto was trademarked by Hasbro for the character Kit Fisto from Star Wars. Basically, Kit Fisto was like the Jedi with like the squid face and the tentacle neck. That was him. So that's why Fisto had to be renamed Battle Fist. But yeah, I think I got all of his restraints free. Now, the one weird thing about these figures is, well, you know what? It's not really weird. It's kind of cool that he's able to just stand up like that with no problem, but it's probably going to be a problem soon, because right here we have his accessories, and it looks like everything's in this bag. So opening up Mekaneck's accessory bag, we have his extension pieces and extra set of hands. Now, he's got punching fists, and he has jack-off arms. Now, his accessories are kind of interesting because he comes with his mace bat weapon that his vintage figure had in the 80s, only it's got a lot more detail to it. But Mekaneck, okay, the vintage figure was able to turn at the waist, and by turning at the waist, it would activate the telescope, the periscope neck that Mekaneck would have. So you turn him at the waist, and his neck would rise. You turn him back, and his neck would lower. However, Masterverse is all about articulation and detail, so it completely removes all action features for the purpose of the extra attention to detail and posability and shit. So his neck does not rise on its own. And the reason for that is because they basically think outside the box when it comes to how they're gonna make the action features work. And in Mekaneck's case, he's got neck attachment pieces, which basically means you pop off his head, he's got his neck peg, so then you take his head, you pop it on his neck peg, and then you pop it back on, and now he has his dick neck. And that didn't really pop on as well as I hoped. Now, I am gonna say, as a collector, I do get nervous with some of these figures and like removing the neck peg. Because sometimes some of the figures have loose neck pegs. And, you know, it's kind of fucked up if you buy an action figure and you're trying to pose him and his neck does not want to, you know, his head's all wobbly and shit. So that's why I get a little nervous with some of the figures that come with alternate heads. Like, I get nervous with my WWE Elite figures and even some of the Masterverse figures here that come with additional parts. Because once you pop that head off, that's when you're going to find out whether or not you have a sturdy or a loose neck peg, and then it gets kind of crazy and nuts if the head's all flopping around, and especially when you have Alright, I'm back. I had to do a quick edit break. My mother-in-law had to pop in because she needed something. But getting back to the show, like I said, he's got these neck pieces that pop onto his neck peg. So you could basically, he's got like 5 of these neck extension pieces, so you can have it be as tall as you need it, and they're articulated so they move and kind of bend. So if you want Mekaneck to look all weird, which honestly I don't think is honestly that kind of bad, I may check that out real quick. I may not worry about his bat. Let's do that real quick. All right, let's pop these other 2 on. See, I don't know. That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. It doesn't look all wonky and weird. At first, I'm like, I don't know if I want his neck that fucking high. But the more I look at it, now that I'm actually playing with it and getting it all set up and shit, it looks pretty fucking dope. But actually, I'm gonna put his bat in his other hand. And the other cool thing that he comes with that the original Mekaneck did not come with is he has a shield. And the cool thing about his shield is it's the same type of shield that comes with Battle Armor He-Man. But unlike Battle Armor He-Man having like the H on it and basically being the He-Man, Battle Armor He-Man, new Eternia Battle Armor He-Man shield has the H logo shield image that was a sticker on the Dragon Walker vehicle. So Mekaneck's shield actually has the head from the Road Ripper, Ground Ripper. The only thing that's really weird and interesting about his shield is where the Ground Ripper is normally green, his is blue, and it even shows the blue Ground Ripper on the box. I believe, yeah, the blue Ground Ripper on the box, and that image is on his shield. But like I said, Mekaneck, now that I got him out of his box and taken out, he looks pretty badass, you know. I don't know what I was thinking, because I didn't know what to think until I was able to actually open him, pose him, get him set up on the table, and actually look at him. I kind of thought once he added all those extra neck pieces, I kind of thought he'd be a little top heavy and not want to stand up, but he seems to want to be standing up no problem. So I actually feel a lot better about this figure now that I have him out of package and looking at him. He actually looks really sick. Unfortunately, I do not have his Origins figure here with me today. However, I got plenty of time in the future to do plenty of additional content, so I do plan on doing comparison videos in the future. So that's something else I'm going to be thinking about for the purpose of Ian versus Daddybones. Now, moving on, we have new Eternia Triklops, and this one looks really interesting. It says Triklops, evil and sees everything. The Technomancer's latest mechanical masterpiece worked perfectly. Dubbed the Multivisor, Triklops gazed into the paradimension and discovered new Eternia, where the power of Grayskull was up for grabs. Now, doesn't give too much information about new Eternia Triklops, but when it comes to the vintage line, with Triklops and Trapjaw, both of them seem to wind up in Eternia through some portal or crossing over they seem to cross over from another dimension to Eternia. So it seems that part of the element is being worked into this figure character, but at the same time, there's been limited information revealed about new Eternia. There's been like 4 comic books that have focused on Masterverse and showed glimpses of new Eternia. So everything about new Eternia is still a mystery until more media, more content gets released over time. So basically, I don't even know if this version of Triklops is a good guy or a bad guy, because that ties in to original design concept elements. Because originally, like, Zodak was going to be a bad guy and on Skeletor's side, and apparently Triklops was going to be one of the masters of the universe. And like, I fucking forgot, so what's like Stratos was going to be like a bad guy at some point. You know what I mean? They keep like, they had original ideas but then change shit, and with new Eternia, like I said, it gives them an opportunity to revisit abandoned concepts and reapply them with modern techniques for the new figures. Like, for example, and I'll get to this in a moment because I'm going to take a break, but like, there's like the one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb to me on this packaging, and even in the back, is the fact that Triklops is wearing this white sash across his chest and abs, where it's got the 3 eyes. It has an orange, a green, and a red eye. And there's a version of Triklops known as Mini Comics Triklops, because when the Triklops figure came out in the 80s and came with his mini comic, the mini comic version of Triklops looked different than the final version of the released version of the Triklops action figure. And with Origins, Mini Comics Triklops was like the first Mattel Creations released figure for the Origins line. He's considered extremely hard to get. He's a holy grail. I do not have him, but the Mini Comics Triklops figure has that white sash with 3 eyes on it, and he looks like he does in the mini comics, as well as they have the regular version of Triklops as he got released in the 80s. So right off the bat, this version of Triklops comes with the Mini Comics Triklops sash, you know what I mean, that he wears across like he's in the fucking Girl Scouts, or if he's fucking, you know, fucking, what's his name, Russell with the fucking wilderness badges from Up. All right, we're back. I had to take one final break real quick. My timer was gonna go off. And honestly, I kind of got distracted because my mother-in-law popped in, so I had to remember where I was at with Mekaneck. So I figured I'd take one more break before I crack open Triklops. But I do gotta say, like, this version of Triklops looks absolutely sick. The other version of Triklops that came out looked absolutely sick. Now, alright. Open. And he's got his bag of accessories. Just make sure there's nothing else in there. Alright. Now they do have less plastic in this new packaging. And some of the accessories that used to be placed within packaging is now placed within the accessory bags, so like they don't stick the extra hands in the plastic anymore. Alright. I think that's the last one and he should be free. Sword, let's get a sword out, there we go. Now, the other Triklops that came out already in Origin, or in Masterverse, was a deluxe figure, because the other Triklops figure to get released was the Masters of the Universe Revelations Triklops, which, honestly, looks very similar to this Triklops right here. He's still wearing his green armor. He's got his green visor. Now, normally, like on this version of the figure, his like gauntlets, his wrist cuffs, the gold on his armor was like an orange. On the vintage figure, this is more like a golden in some areas. It looks like brown in other. Instead of like the furry loincloth shorts, he's wearing what looks like it looks like it's more feather-like. A little bit of fur mixed within like little feathers. But he looks pretty badass as far as his overall character stance goes. Now, when it comes to his accessories, opening up his bag. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Looking at his accessories, like Mekaneck, he comes with punching hands. He's got fists, and he's rocking his jack-off hands because he does, in fact, come with two swords. He comes with his green hilt sword that the vintage figure came with, but he also comes with this other sword. Now, both of the swords, now the gold hilt sword has an eye on both sides of it, but let me see here. The one thing, Alright, this version of Triklops, see, Triklops' his visor over the years, right, has been kind of, I don't want to say weird, but his visor has kind of been different depending on how they're drawing Triklops and what kind of media it is. Like, I've seen Triklops, let's see here, okay, I've seen Triklops have his visor where he's got like regular looking eyes, so the eyes on the visor are shaped like regular eyes, just like the visor that he's wearing now. But then I've also seen him have a visor where each of the eyes is within a shape. So there was like here it's got the red eye in a triangle, it's got an orange eye in a square, and it has a green eye in a circle. So that looks more kind of, I want to say, Filmation-like. or maybe even more vintage-like. I want to kind of say like the vintage figure had like the triangle eye, and I'm not sure exactly how it works. Let's see here. Let's see. There should be some form of instructions. Usually on an inside flap, they'll be like, okay, this is how this works. Yeah, it doesn't seem to friggin' explain how to change his visor. Usually, sometimes it looks like there's like even a piece of paper. Yeah, there's nothing inside that box. There's a sash. Oh, sweet. Oh, okay, sweet. Oh, wow. That's awesome. I've never seen that before. Triklops figure where his fucking visor pops off, so you actually see his single Cyclops eye on this bare bones helmet without the visor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this new Eternia visor on instead, because that looks pretty fucking dope. Trying to think, I don't know how exactly this goes on. I don't know, maybe I gotta pop his head off. Alright. See how far it goes down. See, like I said, I don't have much experience with this. Like I said, I just took him out of the box. I don't know exactly. Now, like I said, like they're more about posability and attention to detail, articulation. So I don't really see this, Triklops figure. It doesn't look like I'm able to spin and select the eye. It looks like I have to pop the visor off and select what eye I want. And right now I have Triklops rocking the red eye and the triangle. So that looks pretty dope. And he's got the same articulation as he's supposed to. He's got the 30 points of articulation. There we go. Now he comes with two swords. And he's got two sheaths in the back. So it looks like the one sword can fit in the back and the other sword could fit in the back. Both swords in his sheath. I mean, it looks really fucking badass. One foot back. See, that's the only weird thing about the Masterverse figures is some of them have no problems posing, and some dudes, like, you gotta fuck with them forever just to get them to stand up without falling over. But he looks like he's not having many issues. It's just a matter of getting his accessories on straight. Yeah, there he is. New Eternia Triklops. Right next to New Eternia Mekaneck. Like, they look absolutely fucking sick. You know, I get more impressed with this line every time I open a new figure that I get to add to my collection, you know? At some point, I'm gonna be taking group shots of like everybody that I've opened so far in all the different Masterverse sub-brands. But yeah, you know, I mean, compared to like, you know, He-Man and Man-at-Arms and fucking, who else do I got? I got fucking New Eternia Ram Man. I got New Eternia Clawful, fucking Skeletor, Trapjaw, Clawful, Whiplash. Like they all look so fucking dope. And you know, you look at these classic characters and these updated, reimagined versions, and it's like just so fucking fresh to me. Like, this is my happy spot right now. You know what I mean? With all the stress and bullshit in life, and all the evil in the world right now, this is one thing that just balances me out. You know what I mean? This is my moment of zen every time I get to freaking open a new figure and take pictures of them and whatnot, and totally fucking dope. I can only imagine what other figures are gonna be coming out in the future for Masterverse. I mean, like I said, there's a revealed event next week, and I already know that when it comes to Masterverse Wave 13, which is what everybody's waiting for right now, we're waiting to find out what the new drops are going to be. And I know so far what I'm hearing when it comes to Masterverse Wave 13 is I'm hearing Leech from Princess of Power, the evil Horde villain, Battle Armor Skeletor, which I think it's going to be New Eternia Battle Armor Skeletor, Thunder Punch He-Man, which is rumored to be New Eternia Battle Armor He-Man, and there's a rumor that Hordak from Masters of the Universe Revolution is going to be available in Wave 13. We'll know next week. All I know is I'm really excited. There's another crowdfund about to start right around the corner. Whether or not it's successful is up to all of us who choose to participate. All I know is Eternia was a success. However, in the past year, I've seen the WCW Monday Nitro entrance stage playset fail. And I also saw the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary Gates of Jurassic Park fail. So anything could happen. Just because they're going to start this crowdfund does not mean that the snake layer is guaranteed. That's going to take 30 months of grinding and people contributing. All I know is I'm ready, I'm on board, I'm pumped up, I'm excited to get started on it. And speaking of excitement, I just want to say before I get out of here, happy 13th anniversary to Excite Wrestling. Last night at the Binghamton Polish Community Center, Excite Wrestling had its 13th anniversary show. The main event had Excite Wrestling heavyweight champion, Indigenous Pat Sawyer, defend his title against All Ego Ethan Page, who was victorious and became the brand new Excite Wrestling heavyweight champion. So congratulations to All Ego Ethan Page, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because during a time in the pandemic, before I started buying toys, I was watching All Ego Ethan Page's YouTube channel, and I will have no problem acknowledging and admitting that All Ego Ethan Page was definitely an inspiration to helping me start Ian versus Daddybones. And I was really looking forward to the next time that Johnny Moose was able to book him so I could tell him this story personally, but I wasn't able to make it to the show last night. But my daughter Julia did, and my daughter Julia got her picture taken with All Ego Ethan Page, and I'm going to post that up on the Patreon because that was an absolutely amazing picture. But yeah, congrats to Ethan Page for being the new Excite Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to Excite Wrestling. Congratulations to Johnny Moose, and thank you very much for every opportunity you gave me to be a part of Excite Wrestling over the years. I am truly grateful, thankful, and I appreciate and I miss every fucking moment. But my name is Ian Daddybones, and until next time, cheers, Pete!
Fuck Ian Daddybones. Fuck Twin Widow, whatever the hell it is. No one gives a shit about you, Ian. Everyone hates you. Fuck off.
Oh my god, I'm so excited, having a banger and you're all invited. Share with friends and I'll see you later. Bring everyone, invite my haters. Throw your hands in the fucking air. Let's push a cripple down a flight of stairs. Got new shit right for your ears. My Hadouken is downright fierce. Rock out with my cock out. Jump around, I got your shout outs. I'm Daddybones, no need to panic. Talking riddles like a schizophrenic. 24/7, I got the party. Roofie roos and whoop-de-doos. Retarded fools with attitudes, bro. Everything's mixed with Bacardi. Glow stick black like tons of bubbles. Titties on bitches, nothing but trouble. Got my pills, ain't no quitter. Pop that shit, here comes my glitter. Not a dancer, I got no skills. Bobbing my head and standing still. Tons of bitches, ravers, goths. Down to fucking get your salad tossed. It's the greatest thing that you ever saw. Put your hands in the air for a party. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Having a bang and you're all invited. Kids posing, muscles flexing, trainings dressed like a favorite X-Men. If there's one thing that drives me crazy, you give high fives but you fucking hate me. Might have rabies, might have herpes. Breastfeed me and you'll have to burp me. I'll be up on stage, throwing out beads, grabbing my dick and spraying my seed all over your face. That's fucking rude. Raise it up and show your boobs. Dance around and go friggin' nuts. Just b-boy stance and light your blunts. Don't be a cunt. Tuck your chain, don't start no shit. Use your brain, it's all a game. Let's play some Yahtzee, eat Tide Pods and punch a Nazi. Not a dancer, I got no skills. Bobbing my head and standing still. Tons of bitches, ravers, goths. Down to fucking get your salad tossed. It's the greatest thing that you ever saw. Put your hands in the air for a party. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Having a bang and you're all invited.